But you have to use different methods for different kinds of people. Some of these men were professional fishermen. They were piscatologists. So I'm just a country hood fisherman. Reverend Golden Glass, he's a piscatologist. He's an expert. He studied fish. He Ridgeway, he know how to hold his mouth a certain way. Make the fish get on his line. He a fish whisperer. Peter was a piscatologist. His nickname was the fisherman. And when you saw Peter walking down the street, people say, that's the fisherman. That guy can catch fish. You put him on some water, and he's coming back with a fish. They were familiar with this body of water. They knew what time was the best time. They knew the best spots. They were confident that they would come back in the morning with a nice haul of fish. But the text says that they fished all night long and didn't catch anything, not even a minnow. And I like how the King James Version puts it in that. It says that they toiled all night long. Especially some of you young people, you don't know what it is to toil, to work hard, to sweat, to get grimy, to get tired down to your bones. This kind of fishing was back-breaking work. Now the sun was out, and their hopes of catching anything were gone. This was disappointing. To be fishermen, a person expects some disappointments. There is a spiritual application to this text, as well as a material application that can be made about winning souls for Christ, but also about providing for you and your family. We can be spiritual all day long, but in the end, you got to eat, and your family got to eat. But sometimes things don't work out the way that you want them to. Sometimes our best efforts do not yield the results that we hope for. You feel like you're doing everything right. You have it down pat. You have had success in the past. You fished all night long and are fishless. Out here fighting, hungry. Fish ain't biting. Life is frightening. You got to be almost old as me to understand that reference. Lamont Dozier. Fish ain't biting at work. Fish ain't biting at school. Fish ain't biting in ministry. Fish ain't biting in your relationships, and you're facing disappointment, heartbreak, a sense of failure, hopelessness, and you feel like giving up. But when the morning came, I love it when the Bible says, but. That's one of my favorite theological terms. But. Seemed like all hope was gone. But it seems like the enemy was about to win. But John says, but when the morning came, and the sun came out, there was Jesus standing on the shore. Have you ever been there? Have you ever gone through a long night of disappointment? Have you ever been there? Have you ever tried your very best you could do to get a particular outcome and constantly drew a blank? I've been there. Have you ever been there? Have you ever just felt like giving up because things weren't turning out the way that you want them to do, and you were constantly facing failure despite your best efforts? Have you ever been forced to weep bitter tears all night long? But I've been there. When the Bible that says weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. The text says in the morning, Jesus was there.